Welcome to another edition of AI in Finance Demo Edition. Today, I got inspiration from reading one of my newsletters recently to go back and test some things out on ChatGPT. To be honest, I haven't used Chat in a long time, other than like some random searches for things that I just wanted to do. I think if you pull in my recent searches, you can see, snow globe repair guide, peanut butter song search, like random things. I haven't really used it mainly for the questions maybe my kids have, but I haven't tested out, and they've launched a lot of new things lately. And so what I wanted to do is actually play around with it and see about creating a presentation using a meeting transcript. Again, this is something that I've been talking about a lot at conferences, in these videos, on social, is all around, we're now having perfect transcription, but now it's a matter of what we do with it. And I wanted to try something out with chat that I have done a little bit with Claude and just see the differences. And so that's what we're going to do. This is right now inside of the chat application on my desktop. And they already have these two different ones where ask questions and explore ideas is chat, and work is get test runs with your files and apps. And so we'll go into here, and what I want to try out is these plugins. So I'm going to turn on a plugin here as well, and I'm going to do plugins, and I want to do presentations. Okay, so I've got presentations, and it looks like I have some templates here as well. So they have templates for presentations. So sometimes you may have to install it, other times you may not. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it this prompt. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to say, I'm trying to copy, well, I'll just type it here. I want them to read this meeting transcript and create a project plan with objectives, milestones, owners, deadlines, risks, and next steps. Objectives, milestones, deadlines, risks, and next steps, and turn it into a polished presentation using at presentations. So there we go. I'm using that at presentations. So, I mean, here's the meeting notes, just so that you see. Here's the transcript as we see it right here. And so that's what I'm going to put in there. And it's a little bit different than, I guess, what we would ask right away for our own clients. But read this meeting transcript and create a plan. I might do actually something else. Create a plan with objectives, milestones, deadlines, risks, and next steps. Also, create a summary of the meeting and turn all of this into a polished presentation. All right, so let me get those notes added in there real quick. Let's see. Here's those notes. Add these in here. And then we're going to let it go. So it looks like this is on light. So I'm going to do medium there, and I'm just going to let it go. So what this feels like is that this is ChatGPT's option or the strategy around like Claude Cowork. This is kind of like what's built into Claude directly as well a little bit. So, I mean, it is more like the Cowork. It's kind of like a little bit of a hybrid of the two. One thing that I always found with chat was that it always took a lot longer, at least as the models continue to expand, and it always kind of took a little bit longer to take actions, even on like simple questions. I always found that to be one of my issues with chat when I was using it in the past as well. But I can already see that the bottom panel. So this is, you can code in there, right? So this is like the coding side. So you can have a side chat and browser. That's the summary. So it's interesting. I mean, it definitely is. They've made some UI updates to it. Advisor one code decides on investments. I'm not tracing the remaining decisions. evaluating table helper usage and text formatting. I'm really going to be curious around the design elements. I've always thought that Claude just has really separated when it comes to design. And maybe I'm wondering, I want to try something. We're going to do this. We're going to do the same prompt. And I want to then bring in Claude. All right, so let's get Claude in here. We're going to bring and do a same prompt here. And I'm just going to do it on, we'll just do it on Sonnet 5. So I'm going to do this. And into a polished presentation. So you don't have to do like any plugins here. And I'm going to then give it this right here. So this is just within the chat version of Claude. So we'll have some fun. Why not? I like to have fun. So we'll do that. Let's see, and then let's bring in, oh, that's not what I wanted. Where is chat? Here's chat. So here's chat. It's working through it. Let's see. I'm going to move this over here for now. The plan is converging around 3 outcomes. So it's working through that. Should I click on more details? What does that do? Oh, cool. From the transcript now, pages of financial planning, investment strategy discussion. The plan being built organizes the conversation into a project that can be executed rather than just a meeting recap. Objectives, milestones, owners, deadlines, risks, next steps. Mean summary itself. Okay. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. This is a presentation that's going to be assembled. Okay. Open a new window so I can, okay. All right. So now let me go over to Claude. So it's loaded the PowerPoint skill, verified, script to render, read the screen. So it's still working as well, detailing slide content and table formatting. If I click that, created build deck, ran command. So this is like their Claude. This is similar to more of a code aspect. Slide plan text, source ran command, edited build, running commands. First deck build is complete. I'm in the visual QA pass now. Checking every slide for clipped text, unintended overlaps, and whether the action table stays readable at presentation scale. Let's see how Claude's doing. Generating icon PNGs. Okay. Main PowerPoint to build the polished presentation. Let's see here. So it's running a command. Listed files. All right. We're going to let this finish up, and then we'll come back and see what they build. Oh, look at this. So this is how it looks right now. Okay. Here's some more slides and visuals. And I do like how it gives the Firefly Zoom transcript from the 4604 mark. That's pretty cool. Viewed 7 images. Let's look at some more. Okay. All right. So initial reaction, if that's the final presentation, design, I would say. Let me download the presentation. Let's see. Here's the preview. So, all right, okay, this is all right. Information is right. I really do like this Zoom transcript, like the source, it gives the time. But the problem is that every time is the exact same. So maybe it's not as nice as I thought. If you look at the slide design, I don't know, not great. not great. So it's like, okay, like would I show this to anybody? No. What I would probably do is I would take this and move it over to Claude Design and ask for Claude Design to make it a little bit better. It's looking at Claude's taking a little bit longer. This has always been my challenge with chat is like it's good at certain things, but like this, it just doesn't look great. It just doesn't look great. So I wouldn't use it for this. And like I think that a lot of things like are based off of design, and they just haven't put a ton of effort into design, and it looks like it still is that way. I mean, I think that the new UI of the platform is better. I thought that like the breakdown was really good. I like this like kind of like canvas style. They've always done a better job with canvas. And so you look over here with regards to what, Claude built, and it's just better. It's just better. Like the design is something more professional. Like even like these tables. Like look at this table. Like even though it just has like this heading and then like dark blue, light blue, and it goes like the rotating. You look at that versus like this table. Like this looks like something that you just build in PowerPoint. It's just like it's just yes, it has that rotation, but I don't know. Like maybe it's the font is better here. It has different color schemes. Like you have that here. I don't know. Maybe someone watching is like a design expert. I don't know why these designs are better, but I think that this design, I just want to, I think that this design is just a little bit better. So I'm just going to do something real quick. I want to go over here and say, I did this design. I created plan document, plan PowerPoint on my own. I'm curious, which do you think is better? The one you created or the one I did? And please provide an explanation or provide a reason for your decision. So I want to find that, and I'm going to put this in here. Let's see. I'm just curious. I wonder if it'll do it, if it'll do this. Using the presentation of both decks on the same criteria: accuracy, mean, narrative, clarity, readability, and visual polish. I'll render the inspect. So in my opinion, like without using AI, I think that this is just like it's just like I'm just being a little bit having fun here for a second. I think that this one is much better designed. So, as re-entry into Claude or into chat, I'm not as impressed. I was hoping to be more impressed. Do I see a reason to make a switch? No. Do I still think that Claude is better? Yes, I do. And I'm sure that chat is better on certain things, but I will continue to search for it. But I think it's the right thing for me to do to continue to play with both of them. But I will let this run. I'll come back and just share what they showed, and then we'll close out from there. All right, so we came back, and you can see here your deck is better overall narrowly, but I won on 3 of the 4 criteria. Visual polish, stronger brand, that's mine. Meeting summary captures the transition and trust, so that's yours. Narrative, the progression from relation, context, objectives, actions, risks, feels natural and execution ready. And then execution rigor, mine provides clear definitions of done, preserves the income and liquidity guardrails, and explicitly labels invented deadlines as proposed. The biggest reason yours wins is that it correctly recognizes the real meaning beneath. Before saying it, I would make the corrections. Make the 1, 2, and 3 week deadlines as proposed. Do not commit to those dates. In short, yours is the better presentation. Mine is the more defensible project tracker. The ideal final deck would use your storytelling and design with my deadline labeling, liquidity control, and definitions of done. And I think that summarizes the difference between chat and Claude right there. It is more technical, more detailed, maybe from detail oriented from that standpoint, but it lacks ability to create, even in the conversations that it has, it's not as natural flowing. In what it designs, it's not as elegantly looking or final draft ready. And so I think when people look at like what chat designs, they're like, gosh, this chat, AI can't replace designers. But then you go over to Claude and you see like, oh my gosh, it can. So there is like a different world. This is why it makes sense to go and try different ones. And so that's what I was hoping to show here. So again, now you see some of the differences. I thought that was fun to compare the two a little bit. Hope you found something valuable out of this one session, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you again on an AI in Finance demo edition.